welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and go check out our Instagram pages where I post daily original photos of our life, our animals, and kind of everything in between. So today I bring you another rat and now mice breeding care video. So today I just wanted to talk about more updates on our mice and kind of answer a few questions, or maybe just go over a few comments and questions I saw on some other YouTube videos. And I also want to show you an update on our brown kind of cream mama that had 14 babies. Now, after everything was said and done, only 12 of those survived. So let me go ahead and show you those real quick and we'll just get that out of the way. Okay, so they were in our DIY maternity rack, but now that they're over 2 weeks old, they got too big considering how many there were for this. So I decided to move them over here into our main rack today because they have gotten bigger and they're eating food a little by little. So they're still nursing off of mama, but let's see. Oh, you guys moved all the boxes around. Hello, little ones. And as you can see, all of the mice in this litter came out cream like mama, and then we have a few kind of hooded ones with the cream. They were no other colors in this litter. So I did go ahead and put some food in here because they have been starting to eat, and they are a little small to be getting up here. I gave them some boxes to hide in and to chew on, and they've been moving them all around. They got their fresh veggies and cheese, which I think they're still kind of figuring out what they're supposed to do with those. But yeah, she was a great mama. Look at her. She's a great mama. And then all of these little guys are super friendly. So these are ones we were raising as pets. And I'm thinking that I'm going to keep probably all the females since they are so good and friendly. And then we're thinking about keeping 1 or 2 males to add some more males. Where is that little guy? There is one in here that's half white and its whole head is like a cream color. I think he's hiding back there. And we figured out he is a male. There he is. He's kind of one of our more... There he is. Look at that. Look at this little boy. He is so cute. And then we have noticed that a few of them have a red tinge to their eyes. So we're kind of have to wait a few more weeks and let those eyes kind of develop a little bit more. Let me see if I can find one. There's only about 2 or 3 in here that have kind of a, let's see if it'll focus. I don't know if it's going to pick it up on camera. That's one of them. Hi, Mama. So that is our update on our little babies. Oh, this one has the, seems to be kind of the skittish ones. Let's see if it'll, the camera's not going to focus because he's a wiggle worm. Let's see if you can see it. That one has the red tinge to the eyes. Hi, Mama. Stay in. Hi, Mama. All right. All right, so before we jump into the mice updates, I did get a comment on the rat breeding and care video that was about pairing males with females and kind of the timeline. I think it is our most successful rat and breeding video on the channel right now. It just skyrocketed with the YouTube algorithm. So I've been getting a lot more comments and concerns, and I always expect that I'm gonna get a couple trolls, or you're gonna get people that have various opinions that may not always align with your own. So this particular comment, I did end up commenting back. I was kind of debating whether I wanted to, but I did, and this person didn't respond back. And of course, in the comment section, I always stay respectful, try to give relevant information and kind of, I don't want to say justification, but I want to give facts and information on why we do it this way. So this particular, I don't even know if it was considered a question. The question kind of seemed rhetorical, but it was addressing why we keep our rats in drawers instead of bigger enclosures. Now, in this particular comment, I did address that we keep them in these tubs, and I chose to do the black because they are next to a door, and I do have dogs that have to go in and out, and I do have smaller children. So this
limits their ability to see, and it reduces the stress level. Rats can get stressed out very easily, especially because they are nocturnal and they need to sleep during the day. They are more active in the evening, early mornings when we are awake, but other than that, they're pretty much awake during the night. And so this helps them, you know, keep that sleep cycle that they need. Now, of course, the top is mesh, so they get that natural light, so they keep their normal sleep cycle as well. Now, this particular person, I'm not going to throw names out there, but they said, you know, why don't you care for more of their basic needs instead of just keeping them alive? Now, I kind of found this a little bit funny, because obviously you want to keep an animal alive, but in my opinion, I am giving them not only their basic needs, but I am going a little bit above and beyond too. They have food, they have water, they have the necessary enclosures to reduce stress level and to maintain their normal sleep cycle because they are nocturnal animals, as well as we keep multiple rats in each tub because these animals are social creatures. Now, if I wanted to be mean, I could just leave one in each tub and they wouldn't thrive at all, but we keep multiple rats in each tub because rats have been captive bred just like dogs or cats for centuries. So at this point, these rats have been captive bred for probably decades at this point. But if they were in their natural habitat, then rats live in colonies. So because rats naturally live in colonies, we kind of tried to mimic that in captivity by housing them together. Rats do not do well when they are housed separately. Now, when I answered this comment, I did address all of the extra things we do. Our rats, well, this is kind of a necessity too, but our rats get wooden sticks or other things to chew on because rats' teeth continually grow their entire life. So they need things to chew on to kind of knot down. Kind of like a dog's nails, we trim their nails or we grind them down. Rats naturally need something to chew on to grind down their teeth, especially the top teeth. They kind of get those buck teeth. If they get overgrown, then they will actually grow into the gums. They can cause abscesses, infections, and ultimately death if you don't keep those ground down. So we offer sticks, and then when I have cardboard, I do add cardboard to their enclosures, whether it's the paper rolls or anything that we can put and recycle. It is okay for them to chew on, hide in, and everything else. And that also doubles as somewhat of a stimulation toy, because they can get in it, they can jump on it, they can move it around, they can chew on it. So those are all things that we offer our rats. And then occasionally, once or twice a week, especially on cleaning day, we offer fresh veggies, we offer cheese, you can do wheat bread, anything basically that a human can eat, as long as it's fresh, organic, natural, you can feed them and it is perfectly okay for them. You can give them small amounts of meat. I have not personally done meat. I stick to cheese, wheat bread, and fresh vegetables is usually what I give them and I prefer, and they seem to really like it.
So let me show you another one. Hi, ladies. I think you guys have eaten all your vegetables. So these are those sticks. You can buy them in a large clump at any pet store. They have them at PetSmart, Petco. Our local pet store is the one I do it because it's a smaller chain business. These tubes are just fun for them. And then these are the cardboard containers, which they have already kind of gotten, and they will start chewing on. And so I just give them little things to kind of, different things each week to kind of stimulate them. And these ones are still fairly long, so they're very playful still.
Now, in this particular comment, I also addressed our DIY heirloom rack. Now, even breeders who use, the traditional wire racks for breeding, if they have a rattery and they're not necessarily feeding a snake collection like I am, if they are doing those wire racks, they still provide a dark hide for the mother to go and birth her young or birth her litters. Mothers will get really stressed out if you don't provide a hide or a dark, quiet place. So while I am providing them with a darker tub and a smaller area, this is still provided in kind of those wire cages, just in a different way. So again, this is all on preference, space, and what you have going on and why you are doing it as well. So I don't believe there is any wrong or right way, as long as you are providing basic needs, clean environment, the rats are happy and healthy and thriving. You do what works best for you. But like I said, being on YouTube, everybody is going to have their own opinion. Some are not always going to agree with the way you are doing it. All right, so let's talk about our mice. So if you've watched our last video on our rat breeding and care, we added mice to our operation, I guess you could say, here instead of just rats, primarily because we are breeding ball pythons, and it has kind of been proven through generations of breeding, and I've kind of taken the advice of other bigger breeders that when you have a baby ball python, it is a lot easier to start them on a mouse hopper, which is basically like a 2-week-old or a week-and-a-half old mouse, one that is still fairly small, but it has just barely started hopping around, hence the name hopper. And the reason is because if you have a rat that is of similar size, that would be a rat fuzzy. They do not move around as much, they don't have their eyes open, so it's not as attractive or stimulating for that ball python to eat. It doesn't activate that innate instinct that, hey, I'm supposed to eat that. So we decided to add a very small colony of mice so that we have options when we start our ball pythons on their first foods. So that is primarily why. I did pick up fancy mice. That way, if we have some particularly interesting colors, that I can also sell those too. I have taken my passion for animals, for reptiles, furry, fuzzy things, and we have turned this into a business. So any way that I can take something I love and maybe make a little extra income out of it, I try to do that as well. I know some people don't want to hear that, but that's kind of the truth. With that said, I'm going to be talking and I'm going to be showing some mice footage as I'm talking. So as suspected, when we picked up these mice, we had already thought that at least 2 of them were pregnant. Well, we were wrong. All 4 of them were pregnant. And as you can see, the bellies are quite plump, and so we just kept the cage clean, gave them multiple hiding places, and we were kind of just waiting for the babies to appear. Now with mice, typically first litters, the mothers will consume the entire litter. They will eat them. They become cannibalistic. For whatever reason, they do this. It's like they don't know that these are their babies. They're supposed to care and feed for them. So typically when they have their second litters, it kind of clicks that, hey, I'm supposed to feed these and take care of them. So while it was able to get a little bit of footage after the mothers had their babies, by the next morning, they were all gone except for a few little bits and pieces which I'm not going to show because that was not very appealing to find bits and pieces of baby mice in the enclosure. I just waited till most of them had their babies and then I cleaned the entire enclosure out because, as you can imagine, those little bits and pieces, that's rotting flesh. The smell kind of gets a little raunchy. So another thing I wanted to share is also, we kind of already knew this from research, talking to other people that have bred mice, is they are a little bit stinky. It's not a terrible smell. It's kind of a very earthy, it's a different smell. It's really hard to explain. So I have found that using a nice generous layer, usually about 1/2 inch to 1 inch layer of those paper pellets on the bottom, and then using a nice generous 2 to 3 inch layer of aspen on top of that, has really decreased the smell, and I can go a full week without having to clean it. Now, obviously, come cleaning day, it is starting to get a little, but we can go that whole week and I can stay on the same cleaning schedule as I have my rats on. Now, they destroy the cage. I put all kinds of cardboard in there. They grind up their food to where it looks like a mush, and so kind of about halfway through the week, I need to dump out their food bowl and maybe add some fresh Missouri rodent feed, like you see right here, to the bowl. Other than that, they seem to go that whole week. Now, I have found that mice drink quite a bit of water, so I'm glad I got that 16-ounce water bottle for them, because usually by the end of the week, that thing is more than half gone. So just keep that in mind if you're breeding mice. They do drink a lot of water for how little they are. So the other topic I wanted to address for this video is breeding brand new female rats in your colony. Now, we have held back quite a few rats over the last few months, and we have just started breeding 2 rows of them. And so one rack that we ended up breeding, we only had one mama that ended up having babies, and I can't remember what it was. She had over like 12, 13, and then I believe only half of the litter survived. And that does happen. This was a first-time mom. The babies were quite small. A lot of them didn't survive because of natural reasons. They just didn't thrive. And then the other 2 didn't get pregnant. Now we have 3 other mamas on the bottom of this rack that I paired the male with. And this is the thing I wanted to address, is when you pair the male with brand new females, if he does get them pregnant, if he impregnates them, not always will they have large litters for their very first litter. And we have experienced this only with 1 or 2 other mamas. Other than that, all of our mamas have produced 10 or more babies their first litter. But this bottom row, all 3 of these females, they did not have large litters off the bat. And that doesn't mean we're going to call them. That means we are going to wait till they have their second litter. If for some reason they're not producing a large litter, then we might consider culling them, because obviously we want those litters to be 10 or more in order to feed our snake collection. So I'm going to go ahead and show you 2 of these mamas. One is still pregnant and she's getting ready to give birth. All right, so this is the bin that has her bin mates. And these were all 3 of the same females. And we had another female in here. Where'd she put her baby? Where is he? All right, well, I ended up having to take the mamas out. He must have been cold, and she completely buried him, and I just barely heard him squeak. And there he is. He is runty too. She only had 4, and he was the only one to survive. And so she's caring for him, and so obviously we're gonna leave him be. But yeah, that kind of scared me for a minute. They were hiding him, keeping him warm under there, so I had to tear this whole thing apart again to find him. All right, so we put Mama back. This one is Mama, and then as you can see, this one is very pregnant. And so far, she has been helping out take care of the one baby and kind of protect him. So I think I might leave these 2 together since she only has 1 baby. If that one back there does have a lot more, I'm sorry, you can go put him somewhere you want him. Yeah, the entire litter was kind of on the runt side. They were really, really small, and they just didn't thrive. In order for the mother to know what to do with babies, they have to move around and they have to squeak. That sends a signal to the mom, hey, they need my attention. If they don't make noise and they don't squeak, she will not feed them. She will not stimulate them to go to the bathroom. She will leave them because they are not strong enough, and in nature, they won't thrive. So mama will not give her attention to those babies. She's gonna give the most attention to the babies that are healthy, thriving, and making a lot of noise. And so that's what happened in this case. And if I can catch it in the evening time or in the early morning time when they have their litters, sometimes I will go in there and I will try to kind of stimulate the babies to make some noise. But in this case, the babies just weren't strong enough. All right, so the reason I'm going to leave them together is because she only has 1 baby. That other mother looks like she's getting pretty plump. She may have 10 plus babies, and leaving them together since the other one is already nursing, the other mama may go and take a few of her babies, but she will take care of them. She's not going to kill them because she's not pregnant. She's already nursing another baby. So it might actually help out the other mother and help more of the babies thrive since there's another mother that can help feed them. So I think I'm just going to leave those 2 together instead of separating them out in our DIY rack to hopefully let the babies thrive and get more attention. So that is it for today's video. I hope some of this information I shared is helpful in maybe your mice breeding or your rat breeding. As always, if you have comments, concerns, what have you, you can drop a comment down below. I try to answer every question or comment as quickly as possible. Now that our channel is starting to grow, sometimes that takes a few days, so please be patient with me. I do have 4 children, and I do have other things going on besides just this and YouTube. I have a lot of animals that I care for, so be patient. I will answer your question or comment back as soon as possible. So thank you again for watching. Of course, without the viewers, none of this would be possible, so we are grateful and appreciative of everybody who watches our videos. Again, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay sane, Get out there and make your own footprints. Bye!